Nederland, West Orange start. A couple of those teams, West Orange start, of course, struggling a little bit with numbers this year. Of course, 6 players a couple of weeks ago suspended for disciplinary reasons. Nederland coming off that tough loss to P&G last week, so it's kind of a toss-up over there tonight. Nederland playing better football, though, at this point.
Well, Nederland was one of those teams. I talked to somebody on the sideline. We were both out at Mustang Stadium. Nederland's the kind of team that really a lot wasn't expected of, and boy, they've really come on, and they did it again tonight.
Let's take a look at it out there at Mustang Stadium out in West Orange. And, well, you know, Cornell Thompson's still trying to fire his troops up, his special teams troops, but it was special teams that really hurt the Mustangs tonight. Norris McGee, you got to get away from that punt when you can't catch it, and hits him on the foot. Really no excuse for that. Clint Sticker recovers, and Bulldogs were in business. Dan Hooks couldn't believe what he sees, but started the second quarter. The Bulldogs on the board here. Jeremy Havert, the pitch out to Clint Sticker, who recovered that fumble. Sticker's in. He sticks the ref, but he still crosses the goal line. 10-yard touchdown. 7-0 right there at that point. Nederland. And Nederland really got all the breaks tonight. Another break on a bad punt sets up this second touchdown. Havert with a 1-yard score. 14-0 at that point right before the half. Well, I just couldn't believe it. Nederland comes out and plays good football, and really on this pass play, one of the prettiest pass plays. I mean, this Havert guy, he's cool in the pocket back there.
He's come in for Jeff Perez and really done a solid job. And one thing you probably won't see as we take a look at the final score is that defense really did a number on West Orange start, blitzing them on the defensive line. Kelly Robertson really didn't know which way the Dogs were coming, and they get a huge win.
They certainly do, and like I mentioned, special teams a big part of this. West Orange Star special teams didn't play real well. They had some bad punts. They field a kickoff and run out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So field position was, against their backs the whole night, and Nederland certainly takes advantage of it.
And when it's 0-0 and Norris McGee touches that punt inside the 20-yard line, things started to steamroll and domino against West Orange Star. Huge win for Nederland. It was our marquee game. So let's hear from the victorious Bulldogs as they really solidify their spot in the playoff chase in 24A. Our Doug Warner talked with the Bulldogs after the big win at Mustang Stadium. Doug?
Of course, you saw it yourself, the highlights. Pretty much a dominated game here. Not only did West Orange fall short tonight, but they fell short kind of bad. Of course, we're talking to head coach Larry Newman here with Nederland Bulldogs, and I know you got to be proud of your guys to bounce back after a tough game last week against P&G.
Really a big concern over the weekend after the P&G game was just our mental approach to West Orange with as much riding on it that we had. And I tell you, my hat's off to our kids. They came back Monday. They licked their wounds. They were totally focused in the workouts all week on West Orange, and they indicated that tonight.
Tonight was definitely a week number 9 of the football season, but definitely a weekend of playoff implications. The latest score we had, Bridge City was up by a touchdown late against Lincoln. We'll get the final on that with Mike and Jeff in just a few minutes from the studio. Even though you come back with a big win tonight, it's still, you can't get that big sigh of relief. You can't get that deep breath just yet because you're 4-2, but you could be still tied with Bridge City before the night's up.
Sure, and we knew that going in. We knew this was a pivotal game because it gave you a bona fide chance if you won, and not much won if you didn't. And, I assume we have a chance, and I'm not very good at figuring that stuff out. I'm going to have to go spend the weekend trying to figure out where everybody else is. But I know one thing: we need to win a ball game next Friday night against those Cypress.
We'll grab a calculator when all this is over. We'll try to figure it out in a few minutes over by the live track. Now, one of the oldest cliches, an all-around performance, not only from the offense, put a lot of boards against a lot of points on the board against West Orange. Defense played well. You guys took care of a lot of their special team miscues. Fumbled punt, kickoff that they caught, stepped out of bounds. We got some videotape. I know we were going to roll of that. And just punts, you made great execution of a lot of their miscues, and you made a lot of big points out of it tonight.
Well, Dan and I talked before the game. We felt like the ground being a little soft in the weather conditions, although they didn't turn out to be too bad at all. We felt like kicking game, something like that was going to happen for one or both teams, perhaps. And luckily, we were able to take advantage of a couple opportunities like that. So we were fortunate tonight.
And on offense, I know you got to be pretty proud of your quarterback. Jeremy Havert really came out and he performed well. Ran one in. He's threw for another touchdown. He really showing a lot of courage and a lot of stamina back there behind center tonight.
Well, Jeremy's maturing every game that he plays quarterback. And I'll tell you what, hats off to his performance, obviously, but our whole offensive line and our defense, a good team effort for us tonight, and that's what it would take to beat West Orange, and we're proud of that.
Well, congratulations, Coach, and good luck for you guys next week. I want to talk to that quarterback tonight, and you did quite well. I know this is, your second or third game as starting quarterback, right?
Third for
kind of getting that confidence, and now's the time you need it, I guess, certainly heading into the playoffs, if getting one step closer to those playoffs.
So I think our team did great. We had a great team effort tonight, Lord. I mean, we had a great job. It was no one individual great performance. Everybody pulled together as a team, and we're unstoppable when we pull together as a team like that.
All right, appreciate it, and congratulations, and good luck to you guys next week. I know everybody out here is waiting to see that final score. Of course, Bridge City score will make a big difference in Nederland's hopes of that playoff position. They took one step closer to reaching the 24A playoffs tonight here in West Orange. Back to the studio where Nederland walks away 34-12. Another big win for the Bulldogs on an incredible season they've been putting together so far. Guys?